If you're someone who loves getting outdoors, or you've ever wondered how you can actually help protect the nature on your doorstep, then this next piece might be right up your alley, because Clare Local Development Company is launching a free Citizen Science Biodiversity webinar series for January and now February 2026, helping people learn how to observe, record and protect local wildlife and habitats. No experience needed at all. For more on this, I'm joined by Deirdre Morrissey, Leader Development Officer with the CLDC, and Rachel Dowling, ecologist with Nature Network Ireland. And you're both very welcome to the show. And Deirdre, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the Citizen Science Biodiversity programme and what inspired the new webinar series.
Great. Thanks, Alan. Thanks for having us on. Yeah, I suppose Clare Local Development Company has been, working with communities in Clare for the past 30 years. And this biodiversity training is part of, I suppose, a collaboration with communities. We've engaged with them and asked them, what do they want? And basically, what people are telling us is, they want a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more skills. I think we've got an amazing county. There's so much biodiversity on our doorsteps, and people do have a desire to protect it and look after it. So we're offering this free Citizen Science land and water training series, and basically it's webinars that you can sit at home and you can listen with your cup of tea in your hand. And we also have a couple of in-person training sessions as well, so you can get out into the field and actually, over to Ballyalla and over to Lochgraney in Flagmount, and actually see and learn what's on the ground, and also learn a little bit of theory as well. And as you mentioned, citizen science, it's about people like yourself and myself, with some knowledge, with no knowledge, but just looking at the land, looking at what we have, taking observations, sharing photos, collecting data, and then that will help scientists to use that data then, for advocacy, for policy, and to make sure that we are looking after the beautiful land that we do have, and all of the creatures and species that live in the habitats. Okay,
and Rachel Dowling, presumably you welcome people being brought up to speed on all of this and being more knowledgeable, because I guess it ultimately helps ecologists such as yourself and the work you do, and these webinars as well. What can people expect to learn from them?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a relaxed learning environment. I think there's going to be something for everyone. So we have our first webinar will be on Irish water and habitats. So we're going to learn about everything from the source all the way out to the sea, about our lakes, rivers and the ocean as well. So it's going to be packed full of interesting information. The second webinar then will be on invasive species, which is something that we hear more and more about in County Clare at the moment. And we're going to learn some basic skills on how to apply citizen science. So citizen science is a buzzword that we hear a lot about these days, and it's becoming more and more important. So the data that's collected by people on the ground nowadays often feeds into national surveys, which in turn feed into EU databases and law and policy. So it's really, really important. And it's also exciting as well. It makes going out for your walk in the springtime a little bit more interactive, if you want it to be, and just to have a little bit more know-how and a little bit more skill about how to read your local environment.
And the webinars are just the beginning, Deirdre, as you touched on. There will be field trips such as the one to Ballyalla Lake on the 21st of this month. How does it all fit, this whole series fit into CLDC's bigger vision for biodiversity and community stewardship in Clare?
Sure. So I suppose it's very collaborative, because we would have engaged not only with communities but also with the biodiversity officer at Clare County Council and with the community water officer as well, the local authorities water programme. So it's very much a collaborative approach, so that we're not doubling up on information, but that we're all working kind of in synergy with each other. And I was down in Labashida the other evening on Tuesday. They launched the County Council, Clare, Limerick and Kerry launched Birds of the Shannon Estuary story map, which is a great resource as well. So it all fits in together very beautifully, and I suppose adds to the 10 years plus experience that we have, helping communities to build on their biodiversity plans that they've developed, and actually be able to use that information, connect together, get outside, and we're very grateful to Leader for funding so that we can offer this programme free to individuals and communities around Clare. And basically, we just want to support communities to increase their awareness and understanding, and have that sense of stewardship and connection. And I think that's very strong in Clare, and we just want to build on that. And so that we can share this knowledge and this information further afield.
And Deirdre, for anyone interested in the webinar and or the field trips, do they have to register or sign up? How do they do so?
Yes, they are adult level, series. They're short courses, so you can go to our website, which is CLDC.ie, and look at the news section. It has all the information there. If they want to contact Leader at CLDC.ie, if there's any questions. And then we're partnering with Nature Network Ireland to run these out. And as Rachel said there, she'll be one of those facilitators bringing this to life. So you can also look at Nature Network Ireland's website, naturenetworkireland.ie, on their events page.
And Rachel, I'm sure there'll be people out there who would love are interested in becoming a citizen scientist, but maybe they're slightly hesitant, or they might feel nervous about getting it wrong. How do you reassure people you don't need to be an expert to make a meaningful contribution?
Yeah, no, you certainly don't. Citizen science is meant to be accessible for everybody. And that means that you can do it from the comfort of your own home, or you can go out into the environment and do it. So absolutely everybody can get involved with citizen science. One of the easiest ways or examples I could give you would be through the Nature Network Ireland Citizen Science portal, where you can record different nature sightings that you might see when you're out and about in nature. Any sightings that are recorded by citizens are then verified by people higher up, and then it goes on to feed the national database. So look, everybody makes mistakes. That's why we have validation systems in place. So it's really important that we have those structures in place to make it accessible for everybody and to make it fun as well. I mean, nowadays when you hear about national surveys you might hear in the news, like the National Hedgehog Survey or the National Red Squirrel and Pine Marten Survey that's coming out this year, large segments of those studies now will be sort of embolstered by data that's collected by citizens on the ground, simply by going out and saying, I saw a hedgehog today, or I didn't see a hedgehog today. Or with Nature Network Ireland specifically, they have an otter spotters form where you can fill in if you saw an otter or not, So it's brilliant. There's something for everyone. Yeah,
that is great to hear that they are making a meaningful contribution. It sounds like it will be the webinar series and the field trips will be educational and fun as well. My thanks to both of you. That's Rachel Dowling, ecologist with Nature Network Ireland, and Deirdre Morrissey, no relation, Leader Development Officer with Clare Local Development Company, with us on Thursday's Morning Focus.